Is this thing on? Ah! I'm Sal DiStefano. All right, are we ready to do this, Dylan? I almost called you Dennis. Apparently, I'm not ready today. So, few things. Very tight today. Woke up and sometimes you get a kink in your neck. And it wasn't from kinky things, it was just the kink in my neck. I don't want that nagging me the whole workout. So we're going to kind of work our way through that to start. I'm going to do a little more isometric work just to acclimate and maintain familiarity with 315. And so I'm going to add that one in while still pressing. Might go a little lighter on the pressing today just to try to keep staying in a rhythm. And I'm thinking next week I'll probably ramp it up a little bit load-wise. It's a delicate dance that we do here. Let's get into it, you guys. I'm going to start warming up. Some more Indian club work here. I really like these heart swings. As I had mentioned before, it just really covers all the bases of rotation with wrist, elbow, and shoulder. It's really my right side that I can feel tightening up on me. Let me reverse it. This is one of those days you're kind of tempted to do some Advil before your workout, but I'm going to try and work through this and hope that I can get my central nervous system to concede a bit here. You got any bowling pins laying around the house? That's about as close as you're going to get. Not a real popular product. Really wanted to make them popular back in the day. These are actually, my dad made these for me. I had to make quite a few of these. At one point thought about selling them, but you know, too niche. Okay, but I'll tell you what I am going to shamelessly sell you: creatine gummies. Legion makes a killer product, and guess what? They're in gummy form, so they're easy to eat, keeps you consistent. And I'm ramping up to about 15 milligrams a day. I do it 5 milligrams at a time, and it's been making quite a bit of a difference. So go out there and get you some creatine gummies. I like this because I can get hip hinge and then more emphasis on extension in a dynamic way. And then do a heart swing with both. Is there a limiter on this volume or what? And why is it so choppy today? You ever just hit like electronics and hope it works better? Fail. Okay, let's redo this song because it's a good one. This is a shorter one, so I can do some rifle flips with this. This is a good way to kind of unwind forearm flexors, bicep brachialis, my shoulders around the elbow, wrists. Okay. Oh, and it's like a nice way to kind of snake my way over the top of it and really spiral, stretch over. Oh. My grip's been real tight as well. Been putting a lot of emphasis on that in these workouts. So we need to keep those functional and responsive. And I'm kind of like turning too. So this hand's turning and helping kind of roll my fingers over the top. If you try this at home, it'll be a pleasantly uncomfortable stretch. All right, one more. Lots of pressure here with my arms pushing against the stick. Okay. All right, I'm getting there. Okay, now if you remember, I said sometimes I'll use farmer walks more as a primer. This is one of those situations because I'm so tight in my traps and my neck here. I want to get that kind of isometric tension, and I'm gonna go ahead and walk and move with it. So not too heavy with the kettlebells, just heavy enough. So just make sure this is a real good posture walk here. Retracted, depressed. Nice upright position. Yeah.
Just started?
Yeah, it just started.
These are actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried them yet.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good.
I just tried Zuby's pre-workout. It's very grape purple, but hey, I mean, I'm feeling stimulated, so there you go. Sometimes I like to even turn my wrists a bit so I can almost supinate. But this is more of, I guess, what they call the anatomical open position. But it helps me to retract my shoulders a little bit more. Stay tall in my chest. Since we're just using that as a primer, I'm just gonna do one set. All right, I have this kind of preloaded over here. We're just gonna get in the rack position and hold it. And then I'll keep adding some weight here. Again, to familiarize myself with the weight and acclimate. All right, progress. So we'll go up 25 each side. We'll go up a bit 50 pounds. Woo! Still been doing some incline pressing. And I feel like I notice it's been helping with, especially with just holding heavier weight in this position, because I can bench press 315 pretty easily. Overhead's another story. So it's a good way for me to at least though feel the weight of it and work on that lockout extension. I just really need to work on the lift off. So I feel like my biggest weakness with this is definitely a few inches from the very bottom to about here. And I'm hoping that I can start working out that leg drive and that hip hinge power so I can connect the two together and give me a little more of a help there with that initial bump. Because if I can do that, then I'm pretty confident if I can get it about this high, I can finish it out and extend. Really, what I'm looking at is this. So I gotta move that weight about a foot. Okay, that's 275. Let's do 295. Alex, can I buy a 10? There we go. It was staring me right in the face. Let's give this a little bit of security. All right, okay, 295, 315, let's go. That looks like so much with these bumper plates. Couple little calf raises go with it. Good news is it was lighter than the last time I racked it, so it's like Little step ladder of confidence, just incremental degrees here. Next time I attempt that, I hope to go like, get it up to about here, right here. All right, anyways, now we're just gonna work on the skill, get some pressing in. I feel like I have less anecdotes for you guys today. You know what? There's some days where you're just like, oh, not too motivated today. Like it's, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you got kinks, but you got to push through and get the work done. So that's kind of where I'm at today. There's other things I wanted to bring up today and like teach you guys. So I'm going to start later on kind of doing some post-activation potentiation, which if anybody knows, it's a great way to kind of prep yourself for heavier lifts, especially PRing. There's a whole kind of sequence I'm going to be playing with that. You know, and I'm not sure if they call it pre-activation potentiation because technically I'm not doing it after doing it before. So sometimes you'll do like explosive jumps, and that's just to literally get the central nervous system to ramp up its potential output to the highest amount. And I'll do that before, like if I'm trying to PR squats, like we'll do some crazy box jumps. Anything explosive with acceleration that you have to explosively, concentrically contract really quickly. Or whenever you saw me before when I'm pressing into something, I'm doing a yielding isometric where I'm pressing as hard as I can. And I'll probably only do it for like maybe 3 to 4 seconds of just like max out intensity. So that way I'm already starting the process of recruitment early, and then I go over and it's not as damaging. You just don't, the fine line with that is you don't want to overdo it so then you bring fatigue into the actual lift that you're attempting. But I'll be messing around with that a little bit once we start trying to actually take some of this weight and move it. For now, it's just refine the sequence. Refine the sequence. 185. We're gonna stick with 185 today. I'm not feeling as powerful as I'd like today. Bah! Triple extension, if you will, up through the ankles, hips, and elbows. But you'll notice it's a little bit of a vertical jump of its own, which is, I mean, if I wanted to kind of accurately portray what I'm trying to do, it's like vertically jump this weight up over my head. Well, obviously pushing and using strength with my upper body a lot, but the rest of my body, I'm trying to get it all to synergistically work together to drive in a vertical fashion. So technique will help a lot. That's that extra 50 something pounds that I'm lacking. It's all going to be in the technique. Right now, I don't anticipate being able to just muscle it up. That would be ignorant for me to think that. So refining so nothing comes too far forward, I don't have any hitch in my lower body to upper body. You want it to really connect. So I don't want to hinge too far down either, which with the heavier weight, I have a tendency to want to do. I want to sit in it a little bit more to get more momentum, but unfortunately, if you sit down too far, then you don't get that accelerated power. So it has to be like somewhere right around here, not here. So here and then pow. Don't get in front of that, it's powerful. Kettlebells will help me once I really start working on that hip power. Since I'm not doing legs today, not gonna do it this workout, probably next workout, I'm gonna add in some hard style kettlebell swings. Those are the ones where I only go about this high. My elbows are a little bit bent, so everything is super tight and controlled. And we're just isolating that hip power, that driving mechanism. A little more rest this time. I think my body will stay intact after all this. What do you think? I might just hire a full-time masseuse to crank on me over the weekend. Ooh, that's what I haven't done yet. Get a nice deep tissue work to keep the tissue nice and healthy and responsive. Because it's starting to do this. Ooh, it's like protection mode. Honestly, that's too, you'll see like with power lifters or bodybuilders, like that's the kind of stuff they don't talk about, like the painkillers and things to kind of keep you going after you're just cranking on your body. Not into that. If anything, I'll probably take an extra day off and just do light band work and really just try and emphasize active recovery and red light therapy and deep tissue massage. So, but I really have to, because this notch is really starting to crank up and intensify around my shoulders, I need to build up the recovery side of that a lot more to complement it. If you notice, like too, our HIIT program, we actually built that in. It's a big reason why we did that, because when you get into like HIIT training specifically, it's like you're cutting out all the rest periods, and that intensifies a lot of the impact on the joints, and because you are working through fatigue with that. And so we wanted to make sure to keep reinforcing the tendons and ligaments and support around the joints by doing flow days in between, where we'll take all these mobility moves and we'll kind of flow together. Kind of like what I was doing the other day in one of the workouts, but a little more elaborate. But that was like, in what you're gonna find, not a lot of HIIT programs even emphasize it at all. And you're just left pretty much taxed and susceptible and more vulnerable to something tearing, straining, and you being out of commission just because you turned that intensity knob up and you didn't complement it with the recovery side. So I'm cognizant of that. And that's going to be an active plan for me, is really to spend some money, get massage, get tissue work done, body work done, and use my red light therapy quite a bit more too, which I started to do. And then You know, the bioregulators I've been taking consistently now, and I feel like so far, knock on wood, I've been pretty good about healing up. It's just I have to balance a lot of the time lengths where I'm like, okay, I need to maybe take a little easier in this workout, or I might need to take this day off. But then once I recover, I come back and my workouts, I feel strong and supported again. So I'm pretty sure that's contributing to the recovery time. The recovery time has increased in terms of not having to recover for as long. But yeah, so I think there's a lot of factors with that. But I think now also bringing in the red light therapy, bringing in massage will take me further now that I'm trying to seek out a whole nother notch. I'm gonna be using all the support that I can for recovery. Yeah, sometimes like 5-minute recovery is necessary. Some people had alluded to this turning into like a MAPS PR program. I think that's a cool idea, but a lot of times we have programs that are kind of pre-planned out. It's all about demand, right? If there's enough people watching this and they're like, hey, I want to go for something crazy. I want to do one lift to its max potential. It would be fun to write a program like that, I'll be honest. I enjoy stuff like that. I like troubleshooting my way to kind of build up the most appropriate programming to get you there. This time I'm literally experimenting my way through this myself, so definitely a cooler, different experience for me. I just have to get there now. That's the only thing. So after we do this, it's just going to be arms is right in the world. Okay. Here's where I get to bro out. Let's do some curls. Actually, before curls, I'm gonna go ahead and do some pullovers. One of my favorite ways to do this is cross bench with a dumbbell. Learned this from bodybuilders. I don't need to go that heavy. I really want the stretch of it more than anything. Oh yeah. This is a great counter. It's all that pressing. Don't wear white with black dumbbells. This is a good Viore shirt too. Hopefully that comes out. Yeah, let's use this one because I like doing incline bench. I think they call these drag curls. Another one kind of from the stretch position, so that helped because I was so protracted and tight and impacted here in the shoulder pressing. I love opening that up and then stretching out and feeling that connection there in the tricep and lat. So that helps kind of pull everything back with my shoulder girdle. So let's go ahead and do some drag curls now. We'll just keep it light too. Don't need a lot of weight, dude. And yes, I do like hypertrophy exercises. Really, it's to complement whatever I'm doing for performance. It's the opposite of aesthetic-driven people. It just feels recuperative for me more than anything. And that's why I think too that style of training has a lot more longevity when you're going to look at, like, you know, going into the elder years. For me, I'll probably be doing a lot more bodybuilder style workouts. So this is sort of one of my last hurrahs and stake in the hill in terms of some kind of performance feat, because to be real honest, I probably wouldn't have done this unless I got challenged to do it. And I challenged myself just to kind of see what I was capable of. And I feel my boy's getting to the age where they're going to get stronger and overpower me here within the next like 5 to 10 years. So I got to keep it up, and so I'm trying to exceed it right now. See if I can get to a new level, and then reinforce that level so they have a hard time catching up to me. It's fun. It's good. Like, I need something competitive. Sometimes I need something competitive. I was pretty happy just working out for the fun of it. So it'll be nice to go back to that. But right now I'm trying to enjoy the fact that I'm pushing it on all cylinders. And I get home and I'm just exhausted, but still a good feeling. Yeah. Oh, it feels so good to have weight just hanging. Oh, man. All right, so we're gonna repeat those two. Then we'll do some cable work after this. We could go a little heavier with this, I think. Well, I can't dirty my shirt any more than I already did, so I'm not gonna be delicate. All right. The other thing I like about this is keeping hips in a bridge position for extension. It's just a good stretch to stay in that for my hip flexors. This is a feel-good exercise for sure. Should have measured these bad boys. Yeah, a couple tickets to the gun show, Dylan. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whew. Good times. Always re-rack your weights. Tricep push down and lat pull down. I feel like this is what they're talking about when they got the pump. I'm just like, I like to go all the way through this to emulate getting through the window, the top part of my overhead press. This is one of those days if somebody messes with me, it's probably not good for them. If I feel like my body's like beat up a little bit, I get a little extra short, let's just say. And that's something I'm working on. Me and my therapist are talking about it, so I hold everything in. I wonder what Jordan Peterson would think of my musical choices. I'd love to ask him someday. Like, what does this mean? Why do I like this? Some days you got it, some days it's a struggle. But you come back stronger, and you take these days and you just stack on top of it. You go crawl in a hole and die. I'll see you guys next time.